So today on the Tim Marner Podcast Show, I've got my mate Ryan Standish, Sales Director of Works Manchester. We're not going to get into Works Manchester. It's very confusing for me, so I'm not going to go into it. But last time we talked, right, I took away about opinions and perspective, and it's something I've been talking about massively with people, right? Give me your take on what opinions and perspective is.
Well, I think they're very different for a start. So I think when we were talking about it last time, what the statement I said to you was perception is everything. So no matter what my perception of anything is, I have to be able to understand that you might not see things the same way. So if you remember, we had that little piece of paper where I drew a number that looked like a 6 to me and a 9 to you, and we could argue to a blue in the face that I'm right or you're right. Yeah. So I think you have to be able to accept that there are going to be different perceptions with absolutely anything, whether it's work, whether it's your partner, whether it's your kids, whether it's whatever, just kind of accepting that yours isn't always right and there are always going to be other ones. So I try and stick to perception is everything, whoever that perception belongs to.
Always? Or do you have opinions on things that you kind of know to be true? This is the conversation I was trying to have with people and kind of understand it, that, you know, when people get stuck in the ways, is that when they have these opinions that are just bound and they're not open to change?
Well, of course, you're always going to get that. But one of the statements that you hear a lot is, oh, well, we've always done it like that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Or you'll hear us saying, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So sometimes my opinion or my perception is not that what you're doing is broken. It's just that I think there is potentially a better way of doing something. So sometimes the work is me either showing or coaching or demonstrating, you know, call it proving that there are other options.
Because obviously you're a sales director, right? Which for me is the wrong job title for you, but we won't go into that.
That's only a couple of words on a business card, though.
It is,
like,
mate,
it's
like,
bullshit, really. Like
this is the stuff that you teach your staff. This is, well, unknowing to them, this is the kind of stuff that you it philosophize is the right word. Well, it's kind of,
I suppose, yeah, but job titles don't mean anything to me. Doesn't. Your job title doesn't mean anything. Ultimately, it's the value you bring to a business or to a relationship, or you know, the things that you share to help the people around you that determines or defines who you are.
Yeah.
You know, I've met some amazing CEOs, for example, that are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and super empaths, really understanding of other people, all that good stuff that helps bring out the best in those around them. But then I've met some CEOs that are absolute dickheads, but they've got that title by, you know, scratching, climbing, kicking, screaming, and got themselves to that position. But for me, your title doesn't fucking mean anything whatsoever. Ultimately, it's how you treat people that gets you to a leadership position, if that's what you want to call it.
And you know which is what you are, aren't you?
Well, again, by definition, maybe, yeah. So do I, or am I responsible for influencing, motivating, inspiring? Yeah. Do some of the people that I work with consider me to be a leader? I'd like to think so. But I guarantee there's some people in our business that maybe don't. They might not even know what my job title is. They might not even know how I fit into the hierarchy of the business. But I'm all right with that. As long as I'm doing the things that I know affect the changes in a positive way that I need them to affect, then I'm comfortable. Call me a fucking whatever, cleaner, salesman, sales director, whatever. Anybody says, you know, if I go on holiday, for example, somebody says to me, oh, it's, nice to meet you, mate. Oh, what do you do for a living? Typical fucking holiday conversation. The words, I'm a sales director, don't come out my mouth. I work in sales. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like even working in sales, you wouldn't necessarily... I don't know, maybe I've just got this stigma on the sales thing that, your way of being and who you are as a person doesn't necessarily, for me, fit into that sales role. I might be totally wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking of like car salesmen back in the day, because it's like you've got such a lovely way of looking at things, mate. And every time I talk to you, I always take something away. I mean, Jake was saying the other day, what was that? Sort of like, not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like every time you talk to someone new, they take something away from it. It's like, what was the one? The change curve.
Yeah.
I was just like, fucking hell, mate, that is sick.
But that's, when you're talking about my personality versus being in sales, I think there is a stigma with sales that, going back to the 80s and 90s, mobile phone salesmen or, like you say, car salesmen or whatever, sometimes they get a bad rap. But actually... It's really difficult to work in sales. You have to be personable. You have to be able to talk to people. You have to, have an understanding of what people think and how they perceive the thing that you're talking to them about.
Yeah.
Because obviously everybody has if you're selling a product, everybody has a different perception of that product for different reasons. Using car sales as an example, you might talk to customer number 1 at 9 o'clock who walks on a forecourt and says, I want a big flash red shiny car, and that's their brief. But then the next guy might want you to answer questions about how many pistons it's got and how much torque can I get out of it and all that sort of, do you see what I mean? So it's understanding what that perception is of the thing they're about to buy, and then being able to navigate the conversation around getting them to the point they're actually going to take it off you. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that change curve, as an example.
Yeah. So people understand what the change curve is, mate. Just talk to us about the change curve.
So it's just like a real simple, I suppose you could call it a diagram that kind of helps you visualize and understand what it looks and can potentially feel like for somebody going through a big change. And that can be in business, so it can be an organizational change.
Yeah.
It can be a lifestyle change for somebody, but it basically is just literally, as it says, like a curve like that. So let's say, for example, you're trying to change the way your business operates.
Yeah, put a new system in or whatever.
New system. You're going to start selling some new products. You're going to step into new sectors that you've never been in before, using equipment that you've never used before, etc. One of your guys might think, well, that's not going to work. So it kind of puts them at the top of this change curve. So person A, for example, that's fucking bullshit, that. It's not going to work. Tim doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. So it's like the first stage of this change curve. So then as you kind of move through it, there's different stages of, say, we've always done it this way, I'm not fucking doing it. So stage 2 might be full on resistance. I'm not doing it. I'd rather leave. I don't want to use that system. I don't want to sell that product. I don't want to talk to them type of clients because that's not me.
Yeah.
But actually, again, going back to the perception conversation we had earlier, then you as the leader of this business has to almost spot where your people are on this change curve.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did from like talking to you. Like,
understand that, person A might be like, fuck this, it's bullshit. But person B might be thinking, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So the opposite end of that change curve is, right, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
So some people might go, bang, straight to let's get on with it. Others need that little bit of support, conversation, coaching sometimes, to help them navigate through that process. So you can go from, this is fucking bollocks, I'm not doing it, through to a flat out refusing I've seen before. And then the bottom of this curve, there's almost like, if you imagine it like a brick wall, you get to that brick wall and think, there's just no point, I'm not doing it. But then with somebody like you, that you said some really nice things to me there about how I can talk to people, but you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it is about helping that person understand what your perspective is. Sometimes it's helping them understand what the bigger picture is of the plan that you've got in place. so that we can get them through that brick wall, and then you move up to exploration. So, actually, well, let's give it a go and see what happens. You get to that point, and then the point after that is, actually, well, I've had a go, and it's worked, and I've enjoyed it, and I liked it. Right, let's get cracking. And you kind of bring in all of your people on that same journey, just some get there a little bit quicker. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
And I think the important thing with it is not to kind of map where somebody is on that change curve and go, right, here's a list of 10 things that I need to ram down their throat to get them up to getting on with it. It's spotting where they are on that curve and then having the relevant conversations, doing the coaching sessions, that sort of thing, showing perspective, demonstrating perspective to help them navigate through it rather than forcing people through it, if that makes sense.
1,000,000%. That's like big boy thinking, that, isn't it? Because, like, obviously, egos can come into play. I'm not doing that with all what's it now. How you navigate someone's ego and try to...
Yeah.
Because, you know, one of the biggest challenges I had as a boss, as a leader, is understanding that everybody's different, and I've got to talk to people and totally different. Everybody's got their own psychology. Some people are more accepting to that and stuff. So using that change curve as a thing, I've kind of noticed that the people who are more resistant to it have got more opinions about stuff. The people who are understanding of what's it, they're more about perspective and willing to kind of change. Yeah. So all these things that we've talked about have kind of come into play. It's been really interesting, mate, psychology-wise. But
I love all that.
Yeah, I love it. I think just the development of people I love, and watching somebody come from to that. And
but that is still sales.
Yeah.
But this is almost, well, I suppose it is the stigma that needs to be kind of booted out a little bit. That, you know, working in sales is not, I've got, 500 of these mugs that I want to sell.
Yeah.
It's about working with a group of people and finding out what is the best way to have that conversation. Not what's the fastest and quickest way to get rid of all these mugs.
Yeah.
It's what do we need to do collectively and individually so that we're all going in the same direction to get rid of our mugs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think, no matter what happens, is like anybody's got like a business and stuff, like if you're not selling anything, you're not going to make any money and you're not going to survive. So, even though I'm saying all this, I actually look at myself and thinking I'm actually quite a good salesman.
You are.
Because I really do believe in my products, but I've got this negative thing in my head thinking, see how my perspective changed now. From that salesman, car salesman, that thing selling windows. Oh, you buy one, you get one free. You buy one,
that's it.
All that, and I'm like, I need to shift that in my mind a little bit.
Every single person in every single business, sells.
Yeah,
and whether that is your salespeople on the front line selling a product or selling a service, like you guys do here with your branding and stuff like that, straight through to the guy that cleans the office once a week, because that guy might go and have a beer in the pub on Friday and somebody says, oh, what do you do? Or, oh, I'm a cleaner. Oh, right, where'd you clean? Oh, I clean at Tim Marner's. Oh, I've seen them online. What's it like in there? And then he says what it's like to be in here, what it's like to be part of the team at Tim Marner. He's selling your business. Yeah. So every single person in every single business is responsible for creating that brand for the business. Because if that cleaner said, oh, yeah, well, I clean Tim Marner's office once a week, the guy's a dickhead, what's the chances of the guy he's talking to coming to you to use your services?
Good, that, innit?
And you've said to me before, I'm not a salesman. Yeah. I've had it.
Yeah.
With some of.
But that's my own ego getting in the way. You kind of because I've got this perception of.
But I don't think it is your ego getting in the way. It's actually.
No, because I don't want to be a salesman. I don't want to be portrayed as a salesman.
So that's one bit of it. But again, this is the perspective thing. That's your perspective on it. My perspective on that would be, actually, it shows to me there is a huge lack of ego. Right. Because you'll quite comfortably sit across this table from me and say, I'm not a salesman, I can't sell. You fucking can, because you've done it with me. Yeah. I've seen you having conversations with your clients. I've seen the things that you put out on social media to help try and generate business. That is all selling. All selling is talking to people. Like I literally, and my teams, we get paid for talking to people. It's fucking brilliant. And you do that really, really well.
Yeah.
You don't have to be buy one, get one free. Or like, it doesn't have to be that. Some people sell like that. And that's, you know, the difference between
I truly believe, I think this is why people are going wrong in businesses, you know. I think they're attaching, it's see, just like talking to you again, my perspective on, you know, these little businesses like Sugar Sponge Sister, you've got a chocolate company. I said to her, look, you need to start selling more. Her head automatically goes to, boom. Like, I can't sell, I don't want to be
people.
That.
I can't knock on people's doors.
But really, you know, they've got to change that perspective in
their
mind.
But one way I like to try and look at it is the kind of two ends of sales is your transactional selling and your consultative selling. So transactional selling is, or one way I like to, one thing I used to call it is black dog selling. So if I had a list of 1,000 people and their phone numbers, if I rang them people and say you were number one, you answered the phone and said, "Hi Tim, just wondering, do you want to buy a black dog?" And you'd be like, what? No, I'm all right, mate, thanks. But if I did that with 1,000 people, I will catch somebody that goes, "Oh, actually, I was thinking about getting a dog." Yeah, go on then. I'll have one.
Playing like the numbers game.
Absolutely. But it's a horrible way to live.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 all fucking day. It's horrible. But then your consultative side is more what you do. So let me understand your business. Let me understand what makes you tick. Let me understand what you're passionate about. Let me understand what drives your economic engine and where all those things cross over so that we can help create your brand from the centre. It's more consultative. And then part of the role of a salesperson is to manage that disconnection between your transactional buyer and your consultative buyer. And it doesn't matter how big or expensive the product is. You know, our mutual friend Ryan, he'll tell you when he was working in car sales, he's had people walk on the forecourt and go, "I want that." And he's tried to engage in a conversation and they've literally gone, "I'm not interested in talking to you. I just want to buy that. So get me the paperwork and I'll have it." And then your opposite end of the scale is, "Well, I like this one, but I'm not sure." All right, well, let's explore it. What do you need to know? What do I need to tell you? How do I find the answers to your questions? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no,
and part of the most successful salespeople can flex between the two.
Yeah, I think people come in, and when I'm doing my consults and stuff, they come in and they tell me what they want, but then I tell them what they need.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like changes, you know what I mean?
But again, you've got to factor into that to make it even more complex is your client that comes into a place like this for the first time, they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They don't know how to act.
Intimidated,
They don't want to feel like a dickhead.
Yeah.
So if me and you went out to the pub now, we would both quite comfortably walk up to the bar, order a beer, complete the transaction, go and sit down, have a really nice time and a chat. Nice and easy. Same with, you know, a corner shop for a paper or whatever, or you're shopping at Asda. How do you walk into a design studio? Mm-hmm. How do you do it? Everybody's petrified of looking like a dickhead. Doesn't matter how welcoming you are, that period of time from the car to sitting down in your office is like, oh my God, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I ask for the wrong thing? What if I make a suggestion that he thinks I'm a fucking idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about? So part of what anybody in that kind of runs a business or runs a team or whatever, it's managing the experience and figuring out on that transactional versus consultative scale where that person is, because you might have somebody come in that is a qualified designer, they just don't have the time to do what they're asking you to do, so they come in with a really detailed brief, put it in front of you, you go, fucking hell, that's fucking brilliant, let's get on with this, lads. Somebody else might come in, and I can't remember the name of the business, but there was one that we were talking about last time I was here. I think it was was it Lashes?
Yeah, the Lashes, the allocate,
You know, so that poor girl had obviously been sent down the wrong path from somebody else, and imagine how she would have felt coming in here.
Yeah.
Here's my product. And you've looked at it and gone, what's happened with your branding? Oh, well, that's what That's what he told me I needed. Then you've got to not only get rid of those concerns, not only figure out
Never thought of it,
how you deal with that particular client, you've then got to help her navigate to a point of where she should be. And some of that might be on that change curve. She might have walked in here thinking it's fucking bullshit this, they're all blaggers, these designers, they just fucking take your money and da-da-da-da-da. But actually, part of your job then, which I know you did really well because you got the work, is to recognise that experience has put that person at their fuck this, it's all bullshit point, and you've got to help them through that process to a place where they understand what they need, not what they want. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, fucking, are you kidding? That is fucking mint, mate. I've never looked at it in detail like that, but you're absolutely right. Maybe I just kind of, because I'm in it and I never noticed it, but you're absolutely right. Her coming in, the intimidation, about to show you something, and if I've not managed that properly, and I've just gone, fucking shite that, mate. Just like, who the fuck's done
Who's
that?
Who's
done that? Just like,
but you make her feel like a dickhead then as well, because she's going, oh God.
Yeah, and she doesn't deserve to feel like that.
And that's
but what she deserves is to get her on that change curve to, help her so we can. She just bought her first shop.
What she deserves is Tim Marner.
I appreciate that, brother. She's got a first shop. We're just... love it.
And that would not have happened
No.
if she'd have stuck with that branding and that terrible website that she had at the start. That wouldn't have happened. Because all of her potential customers would have picked that product up just like we did and gone, that looks like it's fell off 17 magazine. So that is elite sales, what you did with that girl. So you can't sit across this table and tell me you're not a salesman, because you fucking are.
So you've changed my perspective again, all right? You've done it again. But you're absolutely right, mate. I've just never looked at it in depth like that before. Because, like, what I've done there is, like, it's fucking next level, elite fucking shit, really.
Of course it is. And you can't...
But because I believe in what we do that much, it doesn't feel like sales, but it is as well. But I've got such a stigma attached to it that I need to let the fucking thing go, because it's still, when you said that, I'm like, I don't want to be attached to that.
But you've got to look at your background and
do you know what I mean? I don't want to know that girl that I've just done something that I've scripted. This is how I get sales. I've scripted something else and I've just took you through my pitch, through my thing that I've done, and I haven't. I've just kind of watched it. But you saying that, I think to myself, I've got something scripted there, and I've took that person through this script to get her to buy her into something. And it's just, how do I get rid of that fucking negative fucking?
But I don't think you have done that.
But I've not done. But as soon as you say it, I feel like I have, and I'm just like, I'm fucking fighting here, kind of going.
But you don't sit at your desk with a clipboard to one side, which I've done in a past life. A clipboard with a script on, and you sit there going, tell me a bit about your business. How long have you been doing lashes for? You've not done it, have you?
No. But I've still got this, you know what I mean? I just need to fucking let it go, I think, mate. But you are right, I am.
Just, you push that to the side and you just beat him. Or all your team in here, they just have to push the sales thing aside and just be.
I think if I can push it, if I can push that to the side and embrace the fact that I am a good salesman as well, I think my business would flourish more as well.
100%.
I think I need to embrace it more and 100%. Stop and surrender to it.
100%.
Do you, when businesses are using your services at works, do you do this as well with them? Do you kind of look at their businesses and help them from a consultancy point of view? I mean, it's not in your thing to do that, but to sell to people.
Absolutely. Look, I still
give me an example of one that's really kind of.
I still do sales calls. I still go on sales meetings. I still do surveys. I still go out with the team on, measuring up, all that kind of stuff.
But it's more print, isn't it?
No, it's everything. It could be anything from a business card to the wrap of a side of a Premier League football club. Like, the scope of product is massive, and In the same way that you'll get clients that come in and say, I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. We do that. Straight through to a blue chip company going, I need 500 of them. Here's the artwork. And it can be transactional, but sometimes, maybe we'll get asked for something that we'll think, that might not quite work. And then we'll engage with that consultative process of making suggestions and asking questions and that sort of thing. Like I literally had one in the car this morning. One of our trade customers asked for a certain product. I was on my way out the office, so I asked one of the team to have a look at it, to price it. This particular customer just goes, can I have a price for this? And the usual kind of thing is, there's your price. And then they'll come back to us and tell us whether they want it or not, because that's for their customer, not for them, if that makes sense. Yeah. So because I was on my way out the door this morning, I asked one of the team to pick it up. They picked it up, and before I got here, she was on the phone. Look, they've asked us for this particular product, but I don't think it's going to work for what they're asking us to use it for. Can you give me the number just so I can give them a quick ring and talk it through? Give them the number. And then when I was sat here having a brew with Kay, I got the email saying, just had a phone call, thanks for the information, clients decided to go with your suggestion. Perfect.
So they've told you what they want, but you've given what they need.
Yeah.
What's one story that's kind of resonated with you most, like working at Works? What's the one that's sort of like resonated with you the most, that you've kind of got most kind of sort of self-worth from?
God, you put me on the spot there. There'll be a really awkward pause you have to cut out here. God, can't even think now.
Because you get some massive jobs in, don't you?
Do you know what?
But it's just, is it...
Do you know what we do? We do get some massive jobs in. But it's the little ones.
Yeah, I thought
it's always the little ones. It's always, the young lad straight from college that's decided to set a business up on a whim and he's absolutely fucking smashed it in his first year. Do you know what I mean? It's them little ones. It's always the ones that, that start off, can I just ask a couple of questions about business cards? And then it turns into some business cards, then a little bit of, tweaking on some of their personal brand, then to taking that and putting it into a website and then adapting that website to become a shop, and then the shop's got all these products in it, and then all of a sudden it's like, we've got this 18-year-old kid doing, £250,000 a year, and he's like, came from a fucking business card, lads. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. And you've been part of that growth.
But again, this is... I'm going back in sales mode here now, but this is why it's so important to try and manage that disconnection between transactional and consultative buyers, because it would have been really easy for one of our sales guys to go, yeah, I can do you some business cards, here you go, mate, 35 quid, whatever. Never see him again. But actually, because that time was spent with this young man to understand what he's trying to do and how he wants to do it, and again, what he's passionate about, what drives his economic engine, what can he be best in the world at, those three things where they cross over.
Yeah.
By understanding what those things are, meant he always came back. And we went on a journey with him to grow in his business rather than chucking him a set of business cards. You know what I mean? A lot of our big clients... Our big clients, the first order's never a big order, ever, because they want to have a little tester of you. I want to see what the quality's like, I want to see what the people are like, I want to see what your response times are like, I want to see what happens when things go tits up. So they start small and build. So to see a business or your order book or whatever grow in that way shows you're doing a good job, shows you're doing the right things. See what I mean?
Yeah. What would you... If somebody came to you like a small business just first starting up and that, what sort of advice would you be giving them from straight off?
So I always go back, or try and go back to, have you seen the hedgehog concept?
No, come on, here we go.
I think it was oh God, I feel like I'm on the spot again now, I can't remember his name. Anyway, imagine three circles, one at the top, and then 2 at the bottom, and they all overlap. So each of those circles represents a different thing. So what are you deeply passionate about? What can you be the best in the world at? And what drives your economic engine? So basically, what do you love? What are you good at? And can it make you any money? Where those 3 circles cross over is your hedgehog concept. Because if you draw it now, you'll see it kind of looks a little bit like the shape of a hedgehog. So it's understanding what those things are for a start to make sure we're actually talking about a viable business.
So it's like purpose, passion, profession kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then whatever that, right, okay.
Yeah. So, and obviously you've always got to have, budget questions and all that, all that usual stuff. But the bit I care about is that, like, what lights a fire inside you and how can we help you make some money from it? And it might be they've got nothing, not even started, they've just got an idea. So they've got no...
It's exciting, that shit.
Oh, man. When somebody comes in and goes, I've got this fucking brilliant business idea. What's your company called? And they go, well, I don't fucking know. That's what I mean. Do you see what I mean? And you've done it. I've seen you do it a million times with your clients.
Yeah, I love it.
So it starts with brand for us. Like, what are you trying to say to the world?
Yeah.
What are you trying to change with what you do? It starts with that. Yeah. And then I think you start to get a bit of an understanding of how they think, what makes them tick, like I said, what they're passionate about, and then how do we pull all of that together so that you've got a brand that is ready to be shared out into the world.
I think it's the economical growth bit that really kind of people miss, because a lot of people need a logo on a website, and then you just, well, it's all right having that, but it's not Noah's Ark. It's not they're not going to come.
I'm gonna create a Facebook page and wait for the orders.
Do you know what I mean? They've got a great idea and they think people are just going to kind of love it. It's that economical growth. It's how you're going to make money out of it, which again comes down to sales in it, and how are we going to do that? Without that, it's just like,
well, how are you going to tell people what it is and how it works and what it does? And people buy things to fix a problem. Yeah, you don't just, like. Tell me one thing. What's the last thing you bought?
Tent.
And why did you buy it? Because you didn't have a fucking tent.
No, I've got one tent. I just wanted another one.
Why?
Just because the features looked a bit better on this one.
Why though? Why that one?
He's going wall camp with Paul Mesner and he wanted to follow the stuff.
So your problem might have been an ego thing. I'm going camping with the lads and I've got the shittest tent, so I need to get a new one.
Listen, I've not delved into that. This is the first time talking about it.
But do you know what?
Maybe it is.
It also could be, but it also can be, well, I've had this tent for 10 years, whatever. Poles are a bit knackered. Yeah. Whatever. It's heavy. Yeah,
mine's out of ego. It's fine. Yeah, go on.
I'm starting to do a little bit more wild camping, so I need something more compact and lighter. Yeah. Whatever. But everything we buy is to fix something, even if it's a treat. Yeah. Even if it's a new T-shirt, I'm buying a new T-shirt because my problem is I'm not going to feel nice in everything I've got from this thing I'm going to on Saturday. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. With all this going on, let's just shift the thing now and let's talk about mental health a little bit and how you keep your mental health in check. Because obviously we're both big advocates of this, aren't we? Yeah. Just talk to me about some of the stuff that you do to keep your head in check.
So I do a lot of training. So I have to have a bit of a routine and a plan with it, me, or else without the plan it doesn't happen. And when it doesn't happen, I feel different. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want to say I go to the gym every morning, because like this morning, for example, I woke up, my knee was hurting and I thought, I don't want to push it too much because I want to train tomorrow and whatever. But I try to go between 4 and 6 times a week in the mornings. I get up at 5, catch up on emails, that sort of thing. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because it's quite important. Catch up on emails and bits and bobs like that. Coffee. I'm at the gym for 6, home for 7. Changed, ready for work, school run. I'm at work for 8:30. Works for me.
That's your sort of habit routine. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So obviously that changes every now and then.
Every now and again, it's got to. Full day in work, and then what I try to do every night is I'll get home, get the bath on. 20 minutes. I have this thing of 20 minutes. It's really weird. I think it's just fluke. Like my run is always 20 minutes on the running machine, 20 minutes in the bath, and then I I try to do my version of meditation at each night. Sometimes I'll just lie on the bedroom floor on a towel, just air dry with a fan on, because it's just relaxing. Sometimes I'll put a discourse track on or a meditation track on or whatever. Again,
What is your version of meditation?
I was talking to Kay about this before. I think that comes with a stigma. Like,
Yeah.
I think when you talk to anybody about meditation,
Yeah.
they think that you sat at the top of a mountain on a, you know, handmade rug.
Off your back on Zen.
Like, fingers pinched, eyes closed, fucking almond to yourself. But it doesn't have to be that. Like, I don't do that because I feel like an absolute dickhead. I just like to just take 20 minutes away from everything. So I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about home. I'm not thinking about anything. And I try and put everything out of my mind. Sometimes I can't. But actually, just that 20 minutes, lying on the floor, doing nothing, sometimes with a bit of music on, sometimes not, whatever, makes me feel better. And this is something that I speak to quite a few people about it. It doesn't matter what that thing is. It doesn't have to be meditation. It doesn't have to be sitting in a bath. If you can do something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, an hour, whatever, if you feel better at the end of it, it's just a shot of authentic dopamine. And there's a difference between fake dopamine and authentic dopamine for me.
Go on.
So it might be that standing on your head in a corner for 10 minutes, when you're finished, you feel great. Do it every day. Why not? Doesn't matter. As long as you feel better after it, it's fine. It's when it gets dangerous, I think, when it's fake dopamine. So, you know, shoving your nose in a bag of sniff, or, you know, chucking pills down your neck because it's giving you that shot of dopamine and taking you away from what's going on during the day. It's not real dopamine. It's artificial. You're generating it.
Likes on Instagram.
Likes on Instagram, exactly. And I get it. Like, some people, like, I've spoken to people that go, oh, if I'm feeling a bit shit, I'll just put a picture of myself on Instagram. It's like, well, that's fine if that makes you feel better in the moment, but it's not real. It's not
a slippery slope, though.
It is, but it's fake dopamine.
Yeah.
It's artificially created dopamine, just in the same way that having a line of Coke will give you artificially created dopamine. Smashing through 3 bottles of vodka will give you artificially created dopamine. Find something that creates it naturally. Sometimes it's meditation, sometimes it's yoga. Shout to Dave from Dragon Yoga as well. Sometimes it's yoga, sometimes it's like, it's funny because when normally when people ask me the question of, well, what do you do to look after your mental health? Like, it's a bit of a weird mix for me, like a bath, meditation, yoga, cooking helps me do it because you're thinking about a lot of different things that are going on in front of you rather than
the noise.
You know, what you've shook off on a Friday afternoon in work.
Yeah.
Straight through to getting punched in the face at Thai boxing.
Yeah.
Because when you go to Thai boxing or any kind of combat sport, if you're thinking about what's been going on in work that day, somebody's going to punch your head off. So you have to be in the moment thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a scope for me. I try and do something every day, whether it's like I say, training in the mornings, yoga on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll try and do my bath and meditation. Fridays usually, like, we'll try and do something, you know, go out for some beers or, you know, whatever. Saturday, get out with the dog. That's always nice. Podcast on. Love a good podcast.
You love learning, don't you? You love, like, learning new things all the time. You constantly.
I like hearing what other people think.
Yeah.
And how other people think. Like, I very rarely have music on in the car. It's usually some sort of podcast about something, and, you know, it's not always like a self-help learning type podcast. It might be, you know, a couple of boxers that I like watching that are talking about what's going on in the boxing world at the minute. But I like listening and understanding perspective.
What's the email situation then, when you do your emails in the morning and stuff? And
so I'm quite passionate about making sure that I've got a decent work-life balance, because I've got, you'll know yourself, in various different businesses you get a whole plethora of different ways of working for each individual person. Some people are always on, the ones that will send you an email at midnight, can I have a quote for such a thing, or can you help me with such a thing, can you ask me this question? And years ago, like, I would have been the guy sat there, well, I better reply to that now, and it was just ruining, I don't want to say ruining my life, that's a bit dramatic, but I've had to really concentrate on switching off when I get the opportunity to switch off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the reason I mentioned that about the email is because me flicking my email on at 5 a.m. in the morning potentially contradicts what I've just said.
Yeah.
But actually, I do it from a selfish perspective, because when I sit there with my coffee in the morning and my laptop open, I know that there's a very, 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 very small number of people that I work with, or my customers, or my team's customers, that are online at that time. So it feels like I've got a little bit of peace, that nobody's going to ask me for anything, nobody wants anything. So it gives me the opportunity in my head to get a bit of a step on the day. So I don't open my email at 5 a.m. because I want to sit and work at 5 a.m. I open my email and maybe do a little bit of tidying up and get rid of some of the things off my desk that I can, because it makes me feel like I'm one step ahead of the day.
Yeah.
So then I do that, you throw in an hour's training, and by the time I've got to work, I feel like way ahead of anybody else in the business.
Yeah.
And I might not be. Do you know what I mean? There could have been somebody up at 3 a.m. that's done 3 hours worth of training. That's up to them. But for me, internally, I get to work, 8:15, whatever, and I already feel like I'm in front. And like I say, I might not be, but I feel like I am. So that helps me navigate through the rest of the day in a better way.
I think that's the thing, mate. It's just like, everybody's different, and you know what I mean? You get people giving you so many opinions of, don't check. I mean, for me, I can't check anything in the morning. I don't really check my phone till 9, because it only takes one thing, and I'm not training anymore, because I can literally text something and rabbit hole it and kind of watch it, and I'm just like, so I don't even put that into my thing. So it's like 9 o'clock's my, get up at 5, do whatever I need to do, so 9 o'clock, and then that's when I'll start checking my phone.
Honestly, I have to switch my work phone off, because if I see it...
What, if you're having your emails in your morning, you're doing it at 5, are you not open to the fact that something could literally enter your head and take you off down a path?
No, because for me personally, the hours training after it helps me process what's going on anyway. So right. Like if I do, a couple of mile run or whatever, that helps me kind of formulate what I'm going to be doing that day.
Yeah.
And if it is a shit email that I read at 5 a.m, I know I've got an hour to just have a little bit of a think and process that before I actually have to deal with it when the bell goes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You mentioned then, when you get it at night and you used to reply to emails, you switch your phone off. How do you stop yourself from thinking about your phone's off, what's coming through the emails? So, because that's what I've tried it, and I've tried to put my phone down, and I'm like, look,
you're a night owl though, aren't you? Like, fucking he's like...
Yeah, see, I'm not.
I'm like 2-3 o'clock in the morning I go to sleep.
So they all take the piss out of me at work. Say I look like a drug dealer because I've got 2 phones.
I've got the same.
But I have 2 phones.
Look like a drug dealer, to be honest, without the phones.
Cheers, mate. I have 2 phones because
a very posh one.
I can switch that off, and I do switch it off. I will say to myself, 6:30, 7 o'clock, it's going off. There's a couple of people in the business, there's a couple of customers that have got my personal phone, but I switch it off, because if I don't switch it off, I'm the same as you. I'll go up to get in bed and I'll just have a little look, and then, like you say, there'll be a clanger of an email or
A clanger
of a fucking
like,
text message, and
then
I'm like, well, I can't ring him back now.
Yeah,
so what I'm going to do instead is switch my phone off and fucking lie in bed like that, thinking about it all night.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily do something once you turn your phone off to get your mind switched off.
Switching it off is the action for me. That it's like a subconscious. I'm done now, and I do the same on a Friday night.
Well, that might work for him, but not for you, because like if you're more functional at night, obviously you want to turn your phone off in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I'm most creative at night.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about you feel like you're getting a step, you're getting like an extra bulk of hours.
Yeah.
At night, when everyone's asleep and I'm working, I'm creating, juices are flowing. That for me is like, I've got an extra step on everyone else.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But then, so for example, on my personal phone, you can set it. You've got an iPhone, haven't you? You can set the sleep timers. So maybe it's like with me, for example, at 9:30, my phone shuts down unless I actively go into it and try and find my notifications. It doesn't tell me anything. Somebody rings me, somebody texts me, somebody whatever, emails. Those notifications do not come through until my alarm's gone off in the morning. So maybe you could set your sleep for then, so that your phone's on at that time, and then when it gets to the morning, when you're thinking, fucking hell, I just need a couple of hours kip. Yeah. That's when yours shuts down.
Yeah.
But you have, look, listen, I'm not intentionally making it sound easy, because it's really not easy. Like, I'm a terrible overthinker. Yeah. Like, horrendous. So if I get one of those clanger of an emails, I have to do something about it, because, like, to pinch what you said before, I go down a fucking rabbit hole. Yeah. What's this person going to think? And what if they speak to them? Oh my God, we're going to lose this client. And then that person, horrendous. So it's not easy, but there comes a point where you've either got to give up on it or try harder at doing it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I've had to really try hard to do it, but the benefits for me personally are brilliant. And, you know, somebody might tell me, well, that's going to limit your career. That's fine, but then maybe
it's not.
Maybe it's not.
That's the other side of the perception.
Or maybe, well, it's different for you because you work for yourself, but, you know, somebody will say to me, yeah, but if I'm not available 24/7 to my CEO, which, you know, I'm fortunate that I'm not in that position, but, you know, I've had conversations with friends before that have said, if I'm not available to my CEO 24/7, that reflects bad on me. And I'm like, you're in the wrong fucking job, mate. That doesn't work for me. I have a family and I've got, you know, I volunteer and all that sort of stuff. I have things that go on outside of work that are really important to me that outweigh working at midnight.
But even if you're working yourself, and like me, I've got my own business, and same with Jake, like you still need to do that.
Just like you, I know what you're saying. Your creative time is through the night.
Yeah.
But if you're up all night every night, and then going on a photo shoot the next day, and then you do the same again, because it won't last that long.
I wake up early. Well, I wake up about 7, 8 o'clock because I feel guilty sleeping in, because I'm like, everyone's working around, and I have that in my head, so I feel like a phone call's coming through. I'm like burning the candle at both ends, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There will come a point where you will face plant and be like,
you'll burn out.
I'm very aware of that. So it's like rock climbing is the one for me that I come back. I'm not
your meditation.
I don't think of anything.
Yeah. Well, you can't. But that's the point. You can't. You can't think of it. This is what I mean about real, authentic dopamine. So I bet you feel absolutely mint when you finish doing that, don't you? And it's
doing that in the morning.
It's because when you're doing that climbing, if you're thinking about doing the Tim Marner podcast, or where your camera lenses are, or I've got to clean my fucking whatever, you're going to fall off the fucking wall, mate.
And yesterday, someone snapped the leg doing that.
Well,
so it's like you have to be hyper aware, and it's like mind to muscle sort of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's. This feels like a therapy session to me.
No, it's good, mate. It's good. It's just that's what's good about what we were saying about perspective, not having an opinion on stuff. It's like I think everybody from this podcast, they need to understand that you're different than the next person, and what advice somebody will give you might not work for you. Everybody's a night owl. You might work better in different situations. You've got to do what works for you. Whatever your meditation is, do not, again, the sales stigma, meditation stigma. Don't have that meditation stigma. You're going to sit there with your fucking on a meditation cushion.
It might be reading a book. It might be. You
just switch your head off.
Like one mate of mine goes out in his car, no music on, just goes out for a drive for an hour because he likes driving his car. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like looking back at your rock climbing stuff, like in a really cheesy way, that wall is your fucking life, mate. You can't keep hold of it forever. Like you're gonna have to come down at some point and give your arms a rest. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you'll fall off and it won't be your fucking choice. Yeah. And that's when it gets bad.
Yeah, it's out of your control.
That's it. You choose to get down and have your rest, and then you get back on. Somebody takes that choice away, mate. It's a lot harder to get yourself back up.
That's hard hitting that.
Yeah. And we're going to wrap up on that. Mate, I appreciate you coming on. I always love talking to you. I always get something from it. If anybody wants to, you don't really do much Instagram, do you? Bits and bats.
Little bits, mate. I get told off for it all the time by a couple of our mutual friends, but
I
don't know. Maybe I need a bit of help with it.
I don't think it is that. Maybe as I don't know for you again, as it got that stigma. It's just, from both Jake and I, mate. Honestly, we get so much value from you talking.
I appreciate
that I do really feel that having your Instagram and putting these words of wisdom and stuff could, if it just changes one person's perception, perspective, or whatever it is, mate. Is it not worth the post that?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. Right. So at Ryan Standish.
85. Young.
85. Also, if you want any drugs, Ryan Standish is 85. The drug dealer. Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.